The idea behind the Chalkboard project is not to make the teachers, but to make the teachers better. I'm Steve Coffey.
So it's really about sitting down with the people who are actually doing the work and figuring out how we advance the profession individually and collectively by how we compensate and how we develop professional skills.
Redmond School District Superintendent Vicki Fleming. The four main school districts in Deschutes and Crook counties, plus the High Desert Education Service District, will be sharing almost $87,000 to participate in the CLASS project design phase. CLASS is the acronym for Creative Leadership Achieves Student Success.
It looks at teacher evaluation, at developing a career pathway and opportunities for leadership for teachers.
Dennis Dempsey is the High Desert ESD superintendent. He explains the Chalkboard project comes out of a group of nonprofit foundations in the state that were looking at ways to make Oregon schools the best in the nation.
A way they're trying to have creative leadership to achieve student success. And around that, they basically have the thing that we're involved in with the four local school districts and our ESD is a class project around empowering educators to raise student achievement. And then there's four key components in that.
What are those four components?
The four components are expanding career path opportunities for classroom teachers, rigorous performance evaluations for educators, relevant professional development, and also looking at potential new compensation models for classroom teachers. So it's an integrated approach to career paths, evaluation, compensation, and professional development for teachers.
This year, the sisters, Redmond, Crook County, and Bend-Lapine school districts and the High Desert ESD decided to pool their resources and form a consortium to apply for the grant collectively. Vicki Fleming.
We're very grateful, and I think I'm very proud that Central Oregon decided to submit a consortium application. I think doing this one district at a time is going to take us forever, and if we all can collectively sit down at the table and learn together, we have a learning community among all the districts here that we really serve the region well.
Also seems that if you do it separately, then you're competing against each other.
Exactly. And we all have human resources functions. We all have professional development that we do, and the more we can spend money to do that together and stretch the money further, the better off we'll all be.
Plus, we want to be able to leverage the expertise that each school district has and interest and energy in our region, because, we're in a regional area of the state, and what one district does always impacts another. So by us working together on this, we have ability to learn from each other and to help each other. And so that was part of the reason for doing a consortium grant. What happens in Bend-Lapine School District may be a little different than what happens in Redmond or Crook County or Sisters or even the ESD. And so that's the money is going to be to help work with the design teams.
There are similarities, but there are, of course, things that are unique to each district.
Absolutely. The
Chalkboard grant is not funding a program, but is funding the creation of a program to make teachers better.
This year is a planning grant. In the three districts in the Valley, they actually received money to implement their models, and that's still up in the air, I think, with Chalkboard. They're about how many districts they can support for implementation. But it gives us a chance to design something different in terms of how we work together.
The premise is that, if you have great classroom teachers, you're going to have great classroom instruction. And one of the, we're in a system that, that now compensates and rewards teachers in such a way that may not be appropriate anymore in the 21st century. So, if you've got an outstanding teacher right now, how do you expand their career opportunities but not take them out of the classroom? And then how do you how do you evaluate how well a teacher's doing in this 21st century, and how does professional development tie back into all this? And how do you reward or how do you pay teachers if you're looking at different career paths for them and you're evaluating them differently? How do you pay them differently, potentially, doesn't mean you will, from the traditional model that we currently have?
In other words, how do you reward them as opposed to just how do you pay them?
That's correct.
So it's really about sitting down with the people who are actually doing the work and figuring out how we advance the profession individually and collectively by how we compensate and how we develop professional skills.
Chalkboard is an initiative of Foundations for a Better Oregon. I'm Steve Coffey. Take 5 is a presentation of 1110 KBND Radio News. Depend on us.